Welcome to this week's edition of It is Chaile Time. In early 2023, we launched this very exciting platform, It is Chaile Time, whereby we tell all the do's and the don'ts of what we experience on our daily journey in South African companies and employees of workplace and employment matters. During this journey in 2023, we have also launched a platform to do our very popular case law reviews. However, as I have alluded to in the end of 2023, that moving forward in 2024, I will no longer be doing case law reviews on It is Chaile Time. However, I will be doing private Zoom conferencing calls whereby we will practically discuss and debate case law reviews. For those of you who are interested in participating, you are welcome to send us your email address to the email address on this platform, and then we'll be sure and certain to include you in our email database. However, we are also very excited to announce the launching of our educational platform on It is Chaile Time. So we are replacing case law reviews with an educational platform where I will be spending some time with you and give you some training and some tips and some guidance in terms of employment law in South Africa and how it applies in the workplace. I am truly looking forward. It's going to be a great journey, and I'm very excited and happy to actually announce this launch. So to start off with, how to issue a written warning in terms of the common law of fairness. So please enjoy, and looking forward to many more educational content. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
This video is an initiative of Effectus Harmony Education. It is suitable to use for training purposes of employees responsible for managing people, such as supervisors, head of departments, managers and human resources personnel. For best results, use of the worksheet included is advised.
Thabo, a logistics supervisor at a courier company, has a habit of late coming. Even though his line manager had spoken to him on numerous occasions, his conduct has not improved, as he blames traffic congestion at non-working traffic lights, due to load shedding. Thabo occupies a critical role in the company, as it is his responsibility to ensure the correct bookings of all in- and outbound parcels, the allocation of the drivers, and that parcels are delivered to the correct destination. The company operates under strict deadlines, especially those parcels that need to go to different countries and had to be booked on a flight. If Thabo is not at work on time, he will have no control over the process and the people working under him. This could be costly, as penalties apply, as well as causing the company reputational damage. His subordinates had often complained that due to his continuous late coming, they find it difficult to complete their duties on time, and that some of the parcels had left the warehouse late. This has also resulted in some of them being disciplined for poor performance, even though it was not, strictly speaking, entirely their fault. Management has now decided that in order to prevent this situation from escalating and getting out of control, that the matter being investigated, and Thabo taken to task for his misconduct. His manager is also suspicious as to whether load shedding is really the problem.
The Labour Relations Act in the Code of Good Practice provides for dismissal procedures, but it does not provide for any procedure on how to issue an employee with disciplinary measures such as a written warning. Still, an employee may refer an unfair labour practice dispute to the CCMA in terms of Section 186, subsection 2B of the Labour Relations Act on any act by the employer against the employee relating to disciplinary action short of dismissal. Disciplinary action short of dismissal, such as a written warning, may be regarded as an unfair labour practice if it was issued in an arbitrary manner and the employer not adhering to basic elements of fairness. In other words, the common law of fairness. Disciplinary action must be fair and in accordance with a fair procedure and for a fair reason. In PSA, on behalf of KC Kormobi versus the Department of Water and Sanitation, the Commissioner held that when issuing a warning, The law requires of the employer to act fairly in doing so. And in TG Seboko versus the Department of Education, the Commissioner found that in order to show that an employer's conduct in relation to disciplinary action such as a warning was unfair, it has to be shown that the employer failed to meet an objective standard, which includes arbitrary, capricious or inconsistent conduct, and that the warning was imposed arbitrarily or capriciously or inconsistently without following a due process. But how then should a written warning be issued? It is not necessary to follow an overly formal process or a disciplinary hearing in terms of Schedule 8.4 of the Labour Relations Act, as that is a dismissal procedure, but a more informal process should be sufficient. If the following principles are adhered to, a issuing of a written warning will typically be regarded as fair. Invite the employee to a disciplinary investigation. Allow the employee to be represented by another employee or a union shop steward. If the employee is a shop steward, the employer should first notify the union. Allow the employee to have an interpreter present. The complainant, who is typically a person in seniority to the employee, should explain the misconduct allegedly having been committed by the employee and allowing the employee to respond to the allegations. Allow any evidence and witnesses regarding the allegations to be investigated and questioned. The level of disciplinary action to be taken should be investigated against the company's disciplinary code, taking previous disciplinary action into consideration. If after the investigation it is found that the employee is guilty of the misconduct, the warning form should be completed with a charge against the employee and be drafted in a manner that is simple to understand, accurate and to the point. It is important to remember that disciplinary action is a corrective measure and that the employee be notified of any further disciplinary action to be taken should the employee not correct his or her conduct. The parties should sign off the warning form and a copy issued to the employee. It is important to have a witness present so as to confirm the warning in the event that an employee refuses to sign a warning. Having a witness present is also important so as to protect the parties to the dispute, as occasionally parties will accuse each other of inappropriate conduct which may have unwanted consequences. The drafting of a charge is a very important part of a written warning. It is not necessary to write an overly formal, detailed description of the full context and all the circumstances relating to the incident at hand, but on the other hand, one should also caution against being too vague. It will be sufficient to identify the nature of the misconduct, the date and the time of the misconduct, a brief description of the misconduct as follows. Unauthorized absenteeism in that on the 10th of June 2023 you were absent from work without leave or notifying your employer. Now, let's just see how a department manager at a logistics company dealt with the continuous late coming of one of his supervisors. Tabo, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you say?
No, I'm well. We have a bit of a situation here. Late coming, on the 1st of September, you were late for work. Before we start, you have the right to a representative. Do you want somebody to represent you?
I know I will talk for myself.
You talk for yourself. You also have a right to an interpreter. I see you have asked the Makatso to be here.
Yes.
Is she going to be your interpreter?
Yeah, she will help me when I'm stuck in.
Okay. You've been late on the 1st of September. Now, as you know, you are the supervisor, and if you are late, then there's no control over the processes, and some of our deliveries are coming late. Your staff have been complaining about you, and you've been spoken to before about this. Why are you late? Do you agree that on the 1st of September you were late? You were late with almost an hour.
Yes.
Because I've got your attendance register here, and I can see here on the 1st of September you were late with just short and shy of an hour.
Yes, umtshela lapho uthi sinenkinga ye-load shedding lapho manje amarobot awasebenzi lapho yabo.
Okay, he says where he stays there's a load shedding problem, so traffic lights normally don't work in the morning.
So it's load shedding. Is the problem load shedding and therefore the traffic lights are not working, that's why you're late?
Yes, in the convoy, you see.
But Thabo, this is not the first time. I can understand that load shedding is a problem, but surely by now you know you should wake up a bit earlier to accommodate for load shedding. I mean, this is a South African problem that's been happening for a very long time now.
Yeah, ngizoyenza ngcononyana lapho.
And he says he will try to do better.
And I also, I wonder if load shedding is really the problem. I mean, it happens so much, We don't have load shedding every single day at the time when you're supposed to be starting at work.
Yeah, but
Are you sure it's load shedding?
amarobot lawo abona mangasebenzi lapha inkinga.
When the traffic lights don't work, it's a problem.
But can't you wake up a bit earlier? I think that's the real problem. Is that not perhaps the problem? You're oversleeping.
I know, I'm not.
You're not oversleeping?
No. I'm not.
Okay, but you acknowledge that you have been late on the 1st of September.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time.
No, ngizoyenza ngcono, ngitshela ukuthi hayi ngizoyenza ngcono.
He says he will do better.
You understand that you are part of management and you need to lead by example.
Yes.
And if you are late, distribution and the process, it stops.
Yes,
Do you understand the consequences to the company? The company pays penalties, and our reputation is also at stake here. It's important that somebody like you are on time. So, okay, I had a look at the company's disciplinary code, and I've also had a look at your file. There's no written warning yet, even though your line manager spoke to me, that he told me that he had on numerous occasions already spoken to you about this. So this is the first formal disciplinary action we're going to take against you. And in line with the company's disciplinary code, it does warrant a written warning. So I'm going to give you a first written warning for late coming. This warning in terms of our disciplinary code, because it's only a first written warning, and you can maybe explain to him, it's valid for a period of 6 months. It will be on your file, and after a period of 6 months, in terms of our company policy, the warning will actually be removed from your file. But do know this, if you do continue with your misconduct, more severe disciplinary action may be taken against you, which actually may include a final written warning. So I will really urge you and compel you to please focus on correcting your behavior, because this is a corrective measure. So please, I want to ask you that you please accommodate in the morning for load shedding, and you make sure you're on time. So today is the 1st of September. This warning will expire on the 1st of February next year. Okay, so Thabo, this is the first written warning for late coming, in that on the 1st of September, you were late for duty by almost 1 hour. This is impacting our operations and has a negative consequence to our reputation, which may lead us to paying penalties to our clients. This warning will be valid for 6 months and will expire on the 1st of February next year. Thereafter, it will be removed from your file. Can you please just sign here? And just the date. Can the interpreter just please sign here? Anything you would like to say in closing remarks?
No, I will be doing better now.
Can you please explain to him the consequences if it happens again, that in terms of our company disciplinary code, we will have to probably issue him with a final warning, depending on the circumstances, of course, but he may get a final warning if he continues with his misconduct.
Okay, ukuya ngomthetho wekhampani, this is your first warning. Umele uzame ukwenza kangcono. Ngoba uqhubeka kungenzeka ukuthi bakunike i-final return warning and then ungene ku-disciplinary hearing. So kumele uzame at least uvuke ekuseni or ulale ugezile mawuvuka ugcoke kuphela usemsebenzini.
Ya hayi ngizwenza kanjalo.
Okay, people, thank you. We may continue with your work.